The queen takes off her crown and places it tenderly on a fully stuffed velvet pillow on the dressing table where she sits. It is a new pillow, deep red, with tassels of real silver tied to each of the four corners. A braid of yellow silk runs around the border, playing tag with each tassel until they are joined into one. In this square sits the circle of the crown. Brass or gold, it's hard to tell which. It is an old crown. She doesn't look into the mirror in front of her. For most queens, this time of evening would bring a servant to undo her hair and undo the day, preparing her for sleep. But this queen is alone and does neither. She avoids catching the mirror with her gaze, but out of the side of her eye she can see that her image is there. When she moves, it moves. When the queen was not a queen, but a girl, a few years before she became something other than a girl, she would draw a picture of a flower in a champagne glass sitting in front of a mirror like she is sitting in front of now. The flower in the foreground of the drawing was alive, but the flower in the mirror in the drawing was dead. She drew this picture over and over. Finally, she sent it into a magazine which published it. No one asked her anything about it, though. She sits in the quiet, running her finger over the smooth faces and ridges of the faceted clear stone at the highest spire of the crown. She loves this diamond. She admits to that. That never seemed a crime. The diamond had always been hers. When she was a girl, she used to wear it in a small muslin drawstring pouch which hung next to her heart. Sometimes she picked a small flower and put it in the pouch to keep the diamond company. At night, it lived on the small, odd-shaped, three-legged table by her bed, which she had made herself in school woodworking class. The diamond sat quietly on a small scrap of dark orange velveteen, brightly shining, openly, joyfully, simply, with no expectation but to make her happy by having it. Then one morning, she woke up early. The curtains were open, but she had shut them the night before. The window had a new lock on it. When she turned to her table, she saw that the diamond was not in its place. The crown was there instead. Her diamond was fused forcefully at the top of it. She took the crown down the flight of wooden stairs to show her family, who were playing a game which only required 4 people. They laughed. They thought she had made the crown herself. She was always making things out of trash she found around the house. They told her that if she wanted to wear it, which they thought was a ludicrous idea, she would have to earn the crown, not once, but every minute of every day, because no one who saw her with it would believe it was hers. They promised that they were the only ones who would tell her the truth about this. If her family were right, then these were false cheers she heard outside on the street near the front door. Still in bare feet from waking, she held the crown awkwardly in her left hand as she opened the door with her right. "Hurrah!" the people proclaimed. Finally, the diamond was where it belonged. She would be their queen now. She would serve them as readily as if she were their housemaid and be just as thankful for the work. She would do all the things they were too afraid to do themselves. They would tell stories to each other about her daring and risk and truth and honesty. And every morning they would check their newspapers for a record of her good deeds. And every day they would walk past her small home, for she was never granted a palace, and be surprised when they remembered that was where she lived. And every night as she fell to sleep, the echoes of their cheers would whisper to her from the distance. And then, after another too short night, the echoes would come in screaming every morning, waking her with the disappointment of the dawn.